Hi there, my name is Crystal and welcome to my channel. This is Books for Forever After, and today I'm going to do the Booktuber Newbie Tag. Booktube Newbie Tag? I think that's how we say it. Yeah, Booktube Newbie Tag. Wow. That's how we say it. Well, definitely I am a newbie. So, I thought it'd be fun to kind of introduce myself and do this tag with a list of like 11 questions, and yeah, let's get started. So don't forget to like and subscribe to see more content. Okay. Alright, so question number 1. Why did you start this channel? Well, mainly so I would stop bothering people talking about books. I think even my friends are into books, where I can just get everything out that's in my head and just be able to connect with other book nerds like me that want to talk about books and the books that they read and what they recommend. And yeah, that's really why I was started, just to and watching it for a while, all the romance community as well. I just been it seems like a really cool, close-knit community, so that's why I wanted to start a channel. Number 2, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to BookTube? I like to do a lot of thrift book hauls. That's been my thing. I kind of went on like a hiatus of like almost 10 years of not reading for a while, so really it's kind of like rediscovering all the books that I missed. I want to catch up to, and people's backlist, all the authors' backlist, and yeah, so I think a lot of the library book sales I do a lot, much to my husband's chagrin. But you know, plus budget and inflation, it's not fun, so that's kind of why. I'll probably do a lot of TBRs and wrap-ups, and interested in seeing what other kind of content to bring. So yeah, just maybe some bookshelf tours or something like that. I don't know. So in the comments, let me know what we'd like to see. Just taking it day by day, to be honest. Number 3, what are you most excited about this new channel? Really experiencing BookTube, to be honest. It's and getting to talk about books, and hopefully getting to interact with authors as well, because in my eyes authors are kind of like rock stars. So I think that's what's really cool about social media, being able to interact with authors, so your favorite authors and such like that. So, and of course getting to interact with other booktubers and things like that, I think is most exciting. I mean, that's really what it is. It's also daunting because it's a new set of skills that I didn't think I would need to know or learning to do. So, that those like editing and things like that. So, number 4, why do you love reading? Oh my gosh, why wouldn't you love reading? But I guess not everyone is like you, Crystal. Well, I had to say first because it was just a way of escapism. I think growing up, my childhood wasn't as much fun, so that was a way to escape, and I could travel the world and experience other people's perspectives and their feelings, all without having to go anywhere and just being in the pages of a book. I mean, what more could you ask for? And what's really exciting too is like I had some influence on my kid sister. I got her into reading because I just told her that exactly. It's a way to escape, and you get to travel in your mind, which is your imagination. I mean, with using your imagination, there is no boundaries and nothing that is out of reach. So, wow, that got really deep. Wow, okay, well, I guess welcome to my talk show, I guess. Wow, okay. That got deep really fast. Number 5, what book or series got you into reading? Oh gosh, I always like to read, you know, I read the children's books growing up, James the Giant Peach, Charlotte's Web. My favorite one as a child was The Secret Garden, and even to this day, a book that has gothic themes is still like one of those, it's like a comfort to me. So like a gothic thematic novel. So yeah, The Secret Garden was my favorite. I want to say getting into romance. I want to say it was 12 or 13. I was babysitting, and the parent was able to let me borrow some historical romance novels, so she had like a shelf there, and that was my first foray into romance, was historical romance. And ironically, I think it was a Johanna Lindsey, so you know, that was like old school 90s, you know, bodice ripper kind of novels. So it was kind of quite the foray as a reader to there. So, but yeah, so The Secret Garden still to this day one of my favorite, which also explains why Jane Eyre is one of my favorite gothic literature romance novels, you know, classic literature. So it all kinds of trends. I'm seeing a trend. Just learning more about myself, answering these questions. Okay. Number 6, what questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? I would have to say all the tips and tricks. Basically, how do you, for me, I'm a visual person. I need to see, not just like talk about things. Like what apps do you use for editing, and how do you stay consistent, and how do you balance social media, putting yourself out there, with, you know, the not so nice side of it as well. So I think those would be, I would ask babies, like, teach me your ways. That would be my start. I would think, okay, number 7. What challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? Well, being a mom and working full-time in a very, I guess, intense industry, working in finance, I would have to say the hardest to overcome is going to be being consistent, and just the time that it takes to edit a video, and those kind of things that I'm learning. I'm just a newbie right now. Luckily, I don't have to have fancy graphics, I think, so right now, but I think that's part of it, is what seems daunting or the most to overcome. It's just overcoming myself and maybe not feeling motivated to be procrastinating, not feeling motivated to film that day or something. So maybe coming in and doing planning will help a lot. Hopefully, once I get into a good groove and such like that. So just keep on keeping it on, I guess. Number 8, when did you start reading? Well, that was, I don't know, when I was a child. Probably 3rd or 4th is when I was reading, just from not learning how to read, but really reading for fun. I would say probably 3rd or 4th grade, maybe even 2nd. Number 9, where do you read? Well, I like to read, I have an L-shaped couch, so I like to read on my little long side of the couch, snuggle up with a blanket, maybe have a pillow support, and then I also like to read on my Kindle, especially at nighttime, which has been nice, just to read in bed and be able to get tired that way. So that's been good. Also, a way of being able to get books read faster as well, or just being able to have more time to read that way too. Number 10, what kind of books do you like to read? Well, primarily, I believe it's romance, historical. I do like some rom-com. I think last year I had my first kind of foray into spicy romance after reading Avatar. Felt like that was like the gateway book into spicy romance. So, or erotica, for those of you that don't know what spicy romance means, but or steamy romances. I do love fantasy and sci-fi, so fantasy and romance together is like my favorite. Obviously historical romance is my favorite as well. But yeah, I think that's about it. Romance. I did like at one time historical fiction. I remember reading a book, I think it was like the Diary of like Queen Elizabeth I. If I have a picture, I can put it up there. I don't know if I can find it. I can't recall exactly what it was. It was, I just remember it was from her perspective. I just remember her talking about being, oh gosh, what was it? Talking about being exiled basically because of her mom and, you know, with the king, her dad, King Henry VIII, and that kind of thing. So I thought it was really fun. I really enjoyed those. Those were kind of the historical fiction that I kind of like to read, other than, you know, historical romance, which is also fiction. But that was basically, I always find that time period kind of interesting for historical fiction, as well as anything with, you know, Anastasia and that kind of stuff. So, but yeah. Why can't I read? Okay. Let's see, what kind of books do you like to read? Okay, so number 11 is, what does your book collection look like? All right, so let's go for a little mini tour. Okay, let's do this. Crystal, editing Crystal, pause. Okay, so don't judge me. But I have, these are my very nice edition. I actually got at a book sale. Joanna Lindsay hardback covers. So these are very, a special place because, I mean, original covers, they're gorgeous. These are my doves from my grandmother who passed away. She collected birds, and so that's where they are being utilized as bookends there. And then, disregard this, I am doing a book haul soon. But yeah, so I have some Book of the Month. These are all my basically contemporary romance for now. I'm going to need to start getting space soon because of everything, you know. But yeah, that looks like there. I have a little bit of a fantasy one here that's in a mass paperback, but that's about that. Anything that's romance there. Down here is all my historical romances that I have not read yet, or if I have read them, I don't recall if I read them years ago. So these are one I like to pull from here and read. And I'm actually thinking of doing like a TBR jar just by author, to be reading one by the author. And then coasting down here is the ones that I have read so far of the ones that I own. So obviously the Julia Quinns are with the Bridgerton series are actually my favorite, and I actually loved it years ago, way longer before Bridgerton actually came out. And I always thought to myself that why isn't this a TV show? Why isn't historical romance like represented like this? It would be awesome. So it's actually kind of cool that it got developed into a show, and I actually love them separately and equally at the same time. Loving the way I appreciate them both in the forms that they are, and sometimes, you know, the book is better than the show or movie, and sometimes the movie is better than the book. This time I think they're equally great on their own, which is a good thing to see. I have some other, what do you call it, Over here I have some book haul to go over there, and I will take you to the living room to show you the rest of my book collection. Alright, as you can see, the lower half, it does not have any books because I have a toddler. And if you have a toddler, you understand the reasoning and the hilarious reason for this, which her blocks are right there. Over here I have my classics, which multiple, I have Jane Austen and multiple copies of Jane Eyre. And then I start with my fantasy. I have some books that are on my TBR right now. Make Habit is that series, the Media series, is a long-standing favorite of mine. And there, some of these books I have read, some I have not. This is the test books from my daughter. And then we have some more fantasy. I am really looking forward to reading that next coming month. Some library copies of books I've not read. And fall series, I'm only missing the very last one of this one. I want to get that in hardback. Sarah J. Maas. Love those books. Throne of Glass. Love Avatar. My first foray with her. And I have not read this yet, but I'm looking forward to that. Taking my time. Those two series were a lot to go through. Really took it out of me. Twilight, of course, because you know, for nostalgia. And so there. Have some other high fantasy, young adult. Sci-Fi, I have not yet read these, but looking forward to reading those. Same as this. And then of course more here. Really looking forward to this. I heard a lot of good things about this. Millennial series. And then some other copies here. This is actually 2 books of my husband's that are actually on the shelf there. Missing the first one of this series, so I'm looking forward to reading that. It's a middle grade series. And of course Harry Potter. I'm still searching for the other copies as well. And here are the illustrated copies that I have. And then not last but not least, this is where my nightstand, and I always have my TBR for the month there. These are the books I have not gotten to this month, so you'll see a peek there. Alright, so that is everything. So that is the Booktube Newbie Tag. So my name is Crystal, and if you would like to see more content from me, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.